Hi guys, Monica here. So, I bet you're wondering why I'm standing in my bedroom and not standing in my kitchen to introduce a cooking video. Well, it is spring break and all 4 of the kids are home and I turned on the dishwasher right before I had to do this. So yeah. But anyways, so if you have not already guessed the video by the title, which I don't know why I say that, but I'm pretty sure. But anyways, it is Cinderella. So I thought that this month would be a great month to do the Cinderella video because the movie is coming out in theaters on March 13th. So I thought it would kind of go nicely with that. Anyways, so if you have watched the old video, then you know that there's not a lot of food scenes in that movie. So it was really hard to take inspiration from that movie. So where I gathered my inspiration from was when she was feeding the chickens outside and she was throwing the corn, and as the mice are trying to go and pick it up. So to me, it was like, okay, yard birds, which is what I call chickens. I call them yard birds. So I figured, okay, something with chicken and then something with corn. So I went with making a whole chicken and stuffing the inside with corn cobs and just throwing, as you know, just for a side, some potatoes and some onions and peppers and carrots, and just kind of making a very hearty meal out of it. And then also, if you make that meal and you want another meal, if you have leftovers, on my vlog, I have the leftover meal for that. I cannot talk today, guys. But anyways, if you guys want to see how to do this, then keep watching. Okay, for the meal, you are going to need a whole chicken, or you can get those little bitty Cornish hens, totally up to you. I'm using a big chicken just because I have, you know, a big crowd to feed. You are going to need some corn on the cob. You can use frozen, you can use fresh. I got fresh because it was on sale and I like to use fresh. You're going to need some carrots, an onion, some small potatoes, and some bell peppers, and any other type of vegetable that you'd like to throw in. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our chicken, we're going to get it all nice and washed up, and then we're going to cut up anything that needs to be cut up. And then we're going to put the vegetables in the bottom of our pan here, just like you see. And then we're going to season our chicken. I will show you guys what I season my chicken with here in just a minute. And then when we're done with that, we're going to put the chicken on top of this rack. And then all of the vegetables underneath are going to be coated with, of course, the juice running off of the chicken. So I'll show you guys in just a minute how we do the chicken. Okay, so now all of the vegetables have been put in this pan here. We left the potatoes whole just to give them enough time to kind of catch up with the bird and not overcook. We threw the carrots in there, so now we're going to go ahead and put the little rack on top of our stuff. My helper here, Dale, is going to clean the bird. He's going to take that out of the wrapper, wash it all off, and if there's anything inside that needs to come out, he's going to take that out. And then we are going to season it, and we are going to stuff the corn cobs inside of the chicken. So we'll do that, and I'll come back and show you what to do. Okay, so what we're doing now is rubbing the chicken down with butter. Just giving it a nice little massage.
Everybody likes that.
Yeah. So maybe if you're a redneck, you like to be rubbed down with butter, but I don't. Anyways, so you're just going to rub your chicken down real good with butter just to make sure the seasoning sticks to it. As far as the seasoning, all I did was put a tablespoon of onion powder, garlic powder, salt, cracked pepper, and half a packet of ranch dressing seasoning. And that is basically it. If you want to see more of the little green flecks, you can add some parsley flakes to it. But that is basically it for seasoning the chicken. Now for the vegetables on the bottom, I did sprinkle that a light coat of salt and pepper. And then I took our little corn on the cob here and I rolled it around in a little bit of melted butter, which of course they're going to go inside the chicken, so you don't need to worry about those too much. So he's getting it all nice and rubbed down, and then we'll stick the seasoning on there. And then while it's cooking, all those nice, lovely juices should go down there to all of the vegetables and season those up real nice and make them really good and tasty.
Alright, season me up.
Okay. Okay, so basically it's a two-person process. I sprinkle the seasoning on there and he kind of rubs it in just to make sure it sticks and doesn't fall off. We do all of our big meat like this, whether it be chicken or turkey, ribs, roast. Just works out better when you have somebody to kind of give you a hand. This is already looking good. I really like the big pieces of parsley flake in here. Just kind of makes it look a little more, I don't know, earthy to me anyways.
Give him some right there.
Yeah, we always sprinkle inside of our turkey and chicken. Just kind of help season the inside. You don't need much in there. And the good thing is if you run out of seasoning, you can always mix up more. It just takes just a second, literally. Let's get this arm right here. He doesn't really have much on there. This poor chicken, one of his little arms has been cut off. I don't know what happened to him. And I'm just going to use the rest of it to kind of go around the chicken on top and then hit some of those vegetables there in the bottom.
Oh, our little pan is done. Our tree's done come off of there.
There we go. So we're just kind of using that to cover the rest. And then I just sprinkle a little bit there. Okay, now he is going to stuff the corn into the chicken.
There's one. Be lucky if we can get two. He's not really cooperating a whole lot.
Just fit as many in there as you can. If you cannot fit all four of them, that's fine. You can always leave the corn out on the side or put it in your pan.
I wish I'd quit slipping off there.
It's falling off. It's probably because there's butter right there. Okay. Alright, we're going to just pour that little bit of excess butter on top of the neck bone because he likes to eat that, not me. But alright, so now we're going to go ahead and get out some, we're going to wash our hands and then we're going to get out some aluminum foil. We're going to cover this whole bad boy up. Okay, now we're going to place this in the oven at 350 degrees for anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. If you have an oven rack, you might want to move it down just to make sure everything fits. I did move mine down. So how long would you think we're going to cook this for?
Hour and a half. Hour and a half.
Okay, well we're gonna say 2 hours. I would recommend putting a pan underneath it just in case anything should drip out. So, poke the foil down. Be careful, it's hot in there. Just took out my cakes. So check it in about an hour and a half, just until the chicken and everything is done. Okay, so as you can see, the vegetables are done. And the chicken is done. We had to cut in to that just to make sure it was done. And as I said before, it's about 3 hours to cook, not an hour and a half. But anyways, just make sure you cook it until your chicken is fully done. So we're going to go ahead and put this onto a plate, and then I'll show you guys how pretty it looks. Okay, so here it is plated. These crescent rolls we made last night. I got the recipe off of Pinterest. Very basic. So we just pretty much took the chicken off the bone and put it on the plate. There's not really exactly a pretty way to plate this, but this is it though, and I think it's going to be really, really good. It smells really good, so hopefully it tastes pretty good. Okay, and for the dessert, you are going to need 2 cake mixes. I'm using white, just classic white. You can use whatever flavor that you like. You are going to need 2 things of frosting. I'm just going with a fluffy white. I'm using a orange extract. You can use pumpkin if you really like pumpkin, but I'm not really a pumpkin fan, to be honest with you. I mean, I really don't like it, so I chose to go with orange to give it more of that almost dream sickle kind of flavor. I am going to use these blue sprinkles, and you're definitely going to need a bundt pan. That is like crucial in this recipe, is the shape of the cake, obviously. And if you want to go all fancy, you can use some almond bark. So let's get started. Okay, so you're basically going to follow the recipe that is on the back of the cake box. The only difference is you're going to add the pumpkin or orange or whatever flavor you desire extract. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on the KitchenAid, and we're going to mix this all up, and then we're going to pour it right here in our bundt pan and bake it for the amount that it states on the back of the box, which is about 39 to 43 minutes. And then when that is done, we're going to let that cool, and when it's completely cool, then we will take it out of the pan. But I'll be back to show you guys that. Alright, so I've taken one of our bundt cakes and set it on our cake plate here. What I'm going to do is take a bread knife, which has a jagged edge, and I'm going to trim a little bit off the top so the other bundt cake sits nicely on top. It doesn't like topple over or anything like that. So we're just going to trim a little bit off of the top to make the surface a little bit flatter. And don't throw these pieces away. You can snack on these while, you know, waiting for your chicken to cook. Or let your kids snack on them because they were just up in here licking spoons with chocolate and stuff on them. So we're just going to trim it off. This side actually looks pretty decent. We just need to kind of even it out on this side. Now, you might need somebody to help you put the top on your carriage. We'll have to see about that. My top kind of fell apart on like one piece, but that's okay. We're going to cover it up with frosting. It's not really going to matter. Okay. That looks pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and slowly turn my other bundt cake over, trim the bottom of it just like we just did here, and we're going to set it on top. Okay, so I did take the other cake, turn it over, and trim the top there, and I did set it on top just to make sure that it was done, just, you know, that it did fit, it wouldn't topple over once I put the frosting on. So now I'm just mixing up our frosting, and I'm going to cover the bottom of this one, and then we're going to set the cake back on there. And I want to make sure that there is frosting in the middle. That way when you get both slices of cake, you don't have a weird, awkward, just bald spot right there in the middle. So I'm just going to cover this whole entire cake with our frosting. Just like you normally would frost a cake, which I am not a professional at this by any means. I mean, I've made plenty of cakes, but I just slap that frosting on there. I'm going to try to make it as smooth as possible, to be honest with you. That way it looks a little bit nicer and neater. But I just want to make sure everything is all nice and covered. There's no bald spots. Topic of this video is balding, going bald. So I'm just going to keep doing this until the whole cake is covered. Then we'll set the top part back on the cake and do the exact same thing. Now, to make our shapes for our carriage, meaning the wheels and what little bit we can, we're going to take half a block of our almond bark, and we're going to put it in a saucepan here, and we're going to turn it on low heat, and we're just going to stir it until it's all nice and melted. Okay, so our chocolate is all nice and melted. We're going to let this sit just for a minute or two to cool down a little bit, and then we're going to put it in a piping bag or a Ziploc bag. Okay, so once your mixture has cooled a little bit, you're going to take your Ziploc bag or your piping bag. You're going to put it in there. If you're using a Ziploc bag, just snip a very teeny tiny piece off of the corner, and you're going to make your shapes. Now, I am not an artist by any means. These probably look horrible, but it's the thought that counts. Okay, so you're going to make your wheels, which are these large squigglies. And then, of course, I made just some C's over here for Cinderella. And then those weird looking things over there are supposed to be like the little axles that hold the wheels on. I redid them over here. And I tried to make a shoe, a crown, some more C's, and some more little squigglies. So...
yeah, get him on there.
He's upset. Anyway, so, yeah, but you can do any shapes or anything like that that you'd like. But I'm going to go ahead and let these sit and get really nice and hard. And then when we put together our cake, we'll peel them off of the paper and hopefully everything goes well. Okay, so I have frosted the cake. And yes, it looks entirely, like, funny. But anyways, and then I went around it with blue sprinkles, trying to give it that pumpkin kind of shape. Yeah. Didn't turn out exactly too well. So we're going to very carefully take our chocolate pieces that should be good and dry now, and we're going to start placing them on the cake. So like I said, this is going to... oh no! Okay. Quick fix. I'm glad we're eating this tonight, to be honest with you. We're going to try to quick fix this. It'll be okay though. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, it'll be alright. It'll be okay. So, hopefully we won't have any more problems. Hopefully. Okay, we're going to try to stick the big wheels on here. We're going to eat this, like, literally in a couple of hours. So, hopefully, no problems. Okay. You know what? We might have to actually just break this one right here. It's okay. Okay, looking good, looking good. Our little shoe that we made, I'm going to stick right here. Okay, now I'm going to try to take some more of our little pieces, our crown, and I would like to try to set that up here on top, very carefully. Maybe it'll stay. Stay. Okay. Very nice. And we have a C for Cinderella. You can put right in front of it if you want to. Oh no, that one fell over. Yeah, you can tell I'm not a professional. Totally tell. Might have to prop that up. Alright, this is turning out bad. I should have made an extra crown, y'all. Okay, well, anyways, I'm going to fix this, and then I will be back to show you guys the rest of it. Alright, so here's the finished piece. I broke a lot of chocolate. Don't get upset, don't get discouraged. If you think you might break a lot of pieces, just make extra. But I just kind of piled them on top, kind of like a little tiara. But that is pretty much it. And if you want to, you can color the cake frosting a different color, or you can keep it this way, or you can color the almond bark. But for now, this is what we're working with, but looks pretty good. Good enough to eat anyways. Okay, and that is it, guys. Really easy, real simple, as always. That is my inspiration from the Cinderella movie. If you guys like this, don't forget to like and thumbs up. And if you guys go to see the Cinderella movie, leave me some comments below and let me know if it is worth seeing. It looks like it's worth seeing. And let me just tell you, if you try to make that cake, thumbs up to you, because I have never in my life tried to make a cake like that, and I did try it, and it may not have been the prettiest thing, but it sure does taste good. Okay, everybody is loving that cake. So And the chocolate pieces, like I said, just make extra if you're like me and you have a feeling you're going to break a few. I did, but, you know, it all turned out well. And, yeah, feel free to add more color. You can even have it orange if you want an orange. You can even put a little blue in it. You can do it pink, whatever color you'd like. So, I mean, really just have fun with it. That's what it's all about. So, that is basically it. So, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys.